Now we know all of the letters بالعربي, so now we can actually just start using pure عربي. مو ضروري نحكي بالإنجليزي. ممكن عربي بس. So شوي 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 وعربي بس. We'll still add a little bit of English, but more and more عربي. جميل? It's good for the ears. It's also good to start thinking بالعربي. يا سلام. صباح الخير بريت.
الله.
طيب ممكن نبلش. عندنا ألف باء. إيه؟ طيب فألف باء بدنا صفحة 1 9 8 1 9 8 وفي تمرين. رقم التمرين أو نمرة التمرين 5. ما معنى تمرين؟ ما معنى؟ شو يعني تمرين؟ ها؟ So drill 5 تمرين 5. فكلنا في أنتوا مع بعض وأنتوا مع بعض أنتوا مع بعض وأنتوا مع بعض وأنتِ مع.
I think I'm with Brett.
أيوة.
I wasn't in desk. So.
أوكي ممكن بريت تعي هون ومعلش أنت هون ومع بعض. طيب؟ إيه بس. في هي المجموعة. جميل. So in تمرين 5 we want to go through it and mark which letters are شمسي, which letters are قمري, and then also want to pronounce them by eliding that lam or not. And Athar and I will wander all the little groups. ماشي? Why are there very few short vowels written in this تمرين? Yeah, just to make you memorize them. Because ultimately when you're reading there's not going to be any short vowels. So the few that are put in are just helpers, or you've never seen this word before. So the book is helping you out in that way. But after that, you see it once, خلاص, you're never going to see that short vowel written again. Except in your brain when you're reading. ماشي? Alright, so just to do a couple مع بعض. رقم 3. رقم 15. ورقم 24. So, how do we pronounce رقم 3? كيف؟ كلنا كيف؟ Okay, so the دال قمري أو شمسي؟ شمسي? Okay, so what should I be writing? Okay, so I'll put it right here. No? It's on the what? What's the name of that dal? Huh? Dal. Okay. So then we pronounce it? It does. Because what you're basically doing is you're pronouncing this letter and skipping over the lam to that one. How about here? رقم 15.
It's a qamar, right?
Huh?
It's a qamar letter.
It's a قمري letter, ممتاز. So? Where do I put the sukoon? On the lam. Very clear, right? That's how it works though, unfortunately. Alright, هون 24. صح. Huh? Is alright, how is ya shamsi? No. قمري. So then what do we write? Huh? Sukoon? Wayne. On the lam? Okay, so then how do we pronounce this word? كيف? اليمن. وين اليمن؟ تفضلي. واحد 7. Okay.
It's Sayada. But you shada the scene. Wait, okay. So there's like the scene and there's no shadow above it, but then there's already a shadow of the ya. So do you just keep the shadda beyond that?
Two different shaddas. The shadda over the ya شو هذا 7 ايه 17. So the word is given to you like this. This shadda has to do with the word itself. Has nothing to do with if the scene is qamari or shamsi. Mumtaz. And why are you still putting a shadda over the scene? Because it's shamsi. Question. What if you were just given the word do we put a shadda on that sheen? Why not? It's indefinite. There's no what? Yeah, there's no article. So basically this whole rule of shamsi and qamari only applies when you have el in front of it, mumtaz. And el means what? Da.
I noticed that a lot of Middle Eastern countries have al before them. Is that because they're like regions, or do you always say like the America? Would you or was it more like it's like Al Yemen? Would that be more like how we say the Great Plains?
Then a lot of names of the countries do have el in them, and that's because they're frozen terms that were regional. So El Yemen actually means the place on the right, because if you're standing in Mecca and looking downward, looking south, Yemen's that land on the right.
Okay.
So that's how it got its name. Or like El Maghrib is the western land. But then you have names like Masr. What's Masr? Egypt. Oh, technically Misr. Oh boy, that's terrible. There you go. That has no alif lam, because that has a different meaning. It's a much older word.
If Yemen is land on the right, would Oman be land on the left?
Logically should have been, but it's not. But good reasoning. Good reasoning.
Is there any land on the left?
Huh?
Is there any land on the left?
Yeah, there's Oman.
I mean, did they call anything land on the left?
Not off the top of my head. Fi land on the left. Al Yasser? No. No, doesn't exist.
Probably two left.
Doesn't exist. Found a country and call it land on the left. Mashi? Okay. Fi su'al tani? Alright. What we're going to do now is we're going to work a little bit more with the alif lam. But we're also going to start adding in some haruf jar. Haruf jar are like words in English in, at, although.
Prepositions?
Mumtaz. Haruf jar. Huh?
That neighbor words and a different jar.
Different jar. Different jar. So we want to get to everyone get a zamil jadid, and we're going to work on تمرين 8 صفحة 2 0 2. Okay, so what are some new prepositions that we got?
Fi.
Fi. Let's hear that long E. Fi. Fi. Azim. What does fi mean? In or at. Jamil. What else we got? Okay, let's go with the one to start with the m. Min. How have we been saying this before?
Close.
Or ana min. Ana min Medina. I am. So we have from. What other haruf jar? Huh? Bi. Okay. What does bi mean? With. Bi rafi'ati? No. Bi qalb. With my heart. I think bi qalbi. Or she. Okay. What else we got? Let's hear that ayn. Ma. Ma. Have we used this word before? Ma. Yeah? Sure? Ewa. Ma salama. Ma salama. Ewa. Peace be with you. Or with the peace, literally. Nice little confusing thing. The chart that you were just given is for fusha, this formal variety that we write with. So what do we say fi means? Huh? At or in. Jamil. And what does bi mean? What's written? With in like an instrumental type. It's the use of something. If we're going to go into what we speak, where do we say ana min madinat What? Austin. Bid Texas. We're not saying fee Texas. We're saying bid Texas. In spoken Shami, bid means in or at. Fee will mean with. It can also mean in or at. So basically, reversed. Just to make life exciting and alive.
But does it really matter when you're like, when you're speaking? I mean, is it awkward if you like?
Use the formal one.
Yeah.
It's not awkward because people still do it, but if you want your speech to be more spoken, sound more native-like, you should be using bit if you want it to be Shami. Because if you're going to say, "Ana min Medina, Los Angeles, fi California," my ears tell me you're speaking this variety, or you're actually from Egypt. You're not Syrian. So it's a way to make your speech a little bit more Syrian.
So,
Like the difference when we say pop or soda. Someone says pop, tells you they're not from New York.
So we shouldn't use fee, basically? Like when would you use fee in Shami?
When we want to say with the use of something.
So if we say Amin Medina, Austin, Texas.
You can, but that's more for written than spoken. It's a fine little detail which I just want you guys to be aware of. Just aware of it. Okay? So, let's, in our majmu'at, let's use the words that we've been given and use other words and try to make full sentences using prepositions with these nouns. We'll command pronouncing it correctly, noticing whether it's shamsi or qamari. Meshi?
Ma'a means the same in both, right?
Yeah. All right, Meshi? Let's hear some beautiful sentences. What group would like to give us a sentence? Brett, تفضل.
عندي راديو من روسيا.
Okay, ممكن كمان مرة?
عندي راديو من روسيا.
So, عندي
عندي
الراديو.
الراديو. الراديو.
Is it, okay, here, شمسية or قمرية? Shamsi. So how should we be pronouncing it?
Radio.
Keith?
Radio.
Radio. But we write it like that.
عندي راديو
Uh-huh.
من روسيا.
من روسيا. حلو. طيب جملة واحدة. Alright. مجموعة ثانية. مين؟ تفضلي.
بدي أشتري بيسيكل.
حلو. كمان مرة.
بدي أشتري بيسيكل.
بدك شاي؟ كيف؟ بدك شاي؟ ها؟
بيسيكل.
جميل. Are we going to say بالسكر or بالسكر?
بيسيكل.
So then how should we write that? Huh? Okay. Seen, okay.
Should they connect? Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll connect them.
Do they have to be connected?
I don't.
Question, do they have to be connected?
Yep.
Yes. But it doesn't stand by itself, but it's connected to the next letter. Alright, this. Uh-huh. Keith? I can't hear. Uh-huh. Kaf. Ra. بالسكر. Azim. We need to work on knowing the names of our letters a little bit. Remember, when you speak in English, you don't say the A sound, A. You know that T sound, what, T? Come on, it has a name. You have a name, the letter has a name. Alright, مين كمان عند الجملة؟
أنا مبسوط بأنت. No. مبسوط مع حلو طيب كمان جملة.
الأستاذ روحي أوصاف في درس.
تروحي كمان مرة؟
روحي أوصاف في الدرس.
الصف؟
أصف.
أصف. أيوة شمسية.
أصف.
الصف وين؟
في المدارس.
في. How do we combine these together? Because we have this long E. أيوة. في الدرس.
في الدرس.
So pronunciation-wise, this E. Oh. So we have the E strong. So feel, but are we pronouncing the lam? No. So it keeps carrying. Feed. We hit that D. Feed. Feed.
And so that's a wasla.
That's a what?
A wasla.
That's a wasla, ya Allah. That's our wasla letter.
How often do you have to write the wasla?
Never.
That's what I thought.
I learned how to write it and never do it now except when teaching. تفضلي. عفوا Lena speaking. Lena? Okay, كمان مرة? أها. حلو من الجامعة. طيب last sentence مين عنده؟ تفضل.
بدي خبز بتوت.
بريت بده خبز كيف؟
بتوت.
شمسي أو قمري؟
بتوت. فتوت is formal, but بتوت in Shamsi. Or other way around.
other way around. كمان مرة. بريت بده بريت بده
خبز بتوت.
بتوت.
Betoot. Oh, that'd be really good. Some hubs betoot right now.
أيوة درو تفضل.
Oh, no, I don't.
ما عندك جملة؟
I don't have a question.
ما عندك جملة؟
All right.
I saw your hand go up, sir.
Okay. هي في سيارة مع رفيقها.
رفيقتا. رفيقتا. So هون هي وين؟
هي في سيارة.
Okay, so شمسي أو قمري؟ شمسي. What letter do we have before that? هي. Huh? هي. Well, no, we heard fi. So how do we combine that pronunciation one? أيوة Sarah? في السيارة. Becomes one big word. في السيارة. في السيارة. Remember that E just carries on through, and we have that little symbol again, the wasla. Anyway. We'll work on this a lot. Are there any major questions in preparation for the exam, of which we'll still have time to go over tomorrow?
Well, this is just about this stuff.
Okay,
The only preposition we know now that connects to the other words.
We know one other word. Huh? One other little word, huh? Ahlan wa sahlan. What and bit are always connected to the following letter. So, whatever. Eshay wa wal qahwa. And you write it as part of the next word.